NFL free agency, day 4. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports. You guys are watching the Raiders Report, and we're going to be having a good time here on today's show. Hopefully, today is as eventful as yesterday was. I appreciate everyone who is already in, watching us, eagerly awaiting to see if the Raiders decide to do anything else. We'll go ahead. We're going to also be looking at all the Raiders free agency moves. I'm going to go ahead and break down the Yannick Ngakoue, Rocky Ya-Sin trade a little bit more to another level. As always, hopefully everybody is doing pretty well. Yes, believe me, I already know that Allen Robinson is going to the Rams. I already know that Baker Mayfield has requested a trade, but the Browns have gone ahead and they've turned it down. Usually when we go live here, we only talk about the Raiders, or at least 90% Raiders. With NFL free agency, it's going to be a little bit more of a mix. We're going to talk about the NFL, talk about everything going on in the league, how it could potentially impact Las Vegas. Like one player that has just been released by the New York Giants, Logan Ryan. I went ahead and I tweeted about him at Mitchell Renz 365 saying Logan Ryan could actually be a pretty interesting option considering the fact that he spent his first 4 years in the National Football League with the New England Patriots. Now, before we get into breaking down some other stuff, as always, if you guys want to get your questions, your comments on the show, go ahead, use hashtag Raiders, or you can go ahead and super chat. I would appreciate that. We're going to take it a little bit slower on the drinking, and this is why. And I think I have a good reason. So yesterday, I was getting ready to go live, and I was like, I'm not going to be drinking until the Raiders make a move. I'm going to do the same thing today. I felt like it was good luck. I felt like the Raiders absolutely killed it yesterday in free agency. So that's going to be my thing. I am not going to drink until the Raiders make a move. I also was hungover as all hell this morning. Went to bed last night with a lot of liquid in my stomach. But if you guys want to get those questions, comments on the show, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat, let's go ahead. Let's give some shout outs here to the people that are watching. I got This Ist Gaming. Says, no, Mitch. Vegas from Juan Hernandez. Fresno from Crispy Chicken Raider. East Los Angeles from DJ Gusto. Juan Hernandez, Vegas. Let's drink. Gaming. I'm waiting until the Raiders make a move. We got Robert Malik is from Australia. Bonjour. Hilo, Hawaii from Camille. What up, my man? Raider Sanchez, Davis, California. Middlesbrough, UK from Dale Shields. Bonjour. Berlin, Germany. Bonjour from Silas, or I guess I should say Vegetas there. We got Rob Cypher is going to go China. A lot of people from all over the world. That's what I love to see here. Newbury, UK, New York, Denver, Reno, Fresno, Ben from Paul Gaines. Shout out to Jedi. Jedi, how you been, man? Reno. It's been a while. Let's go to Ambitious Cowboy. Sending the very first super chat on today's show, actually before the show went even live. Raiders renovating the team. What do you think? Personally, I think the moves that the Raiders have made have been, okay so far. The grade that I'd go ahead and give it is somewhere between a 75 and a 77, 78. I wouldn't put us yet in the B range because there's still a lot of needs this team has. You still need a top receiver, and the fact that Allen Robinson just went to the Rams, I'd say now you just probably go out and draft a wide receiver in the first round or second round of the NFL draft if that's how you want to go ahead and address that need. You also need a right tackle. You need defensive tackle. You still probably need another linebacker. So the Raiders went out and they made some good moves yesterday. Let's not get that twisted, but they still have a lot of other needs. Let's go to Cameron. Can't wait to see your Jello wrestling. Let's go, Mitch. Raiders! So yesterday, I promised y'all, if we hit 4,000, break a company record in supers, that we are going to get a kiddie pool, fill it up with Jello, and we're going to wrestle. And we are going to wrestle. Not today. Jeremy, again, this is the whole thing Jeremy and I, we did the other day just for fun. Jeremy's at a funeral, so I didn't want to be able to do this thing without having Jeremy involved. But I promise you, we will do a Jello wrestling match here on the Raiders Report. Let's go to Anthony Morales. Robinson got a cheap deal. What are the Raiders doing? So the Raiders were interested. It just sounds like he got a better offer from the Los Angeles Rams. So the deal was 3 years, $46.5 million, with about $30 million in guaranteed money, right? 30.7. The teams that were the most interested, Rams, Raiders, and Eagles. This kind of just shows me that Los Angeles continues to be in their buy now, spend now, keep on trying to win now type of window, which you got to respect the hell out of. And that offense now for Los Angeles and for Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp. Remember, they're going to get back Robert Woods I mean, this is a pretty dynamic offense, and now with Allen Robinson. Good luck. Let's go to Brandon. What's up, brother? What if we sign Juju? Okay. He's not my favorite, but if we get him and someone like Chris Olave in the draft, and then we have Renfro, Waller, and the new addition Hollins, what are your thoughts? I mean, I'm just going to tell you all this right now. My hopes for Matt Collins are not high. I am letting you know right now, my hopes for Matt Collins are not high. He is 6'4", he's a bigger receiver. He's going to be like your wide receiver 6, and that's just me trying to be as real with y'all as I possibly can. Juju, sure, he's not my favorite either. However, if the Raiders wanted to go out and potentially get somebody like a Jarvis Landry, I'd be interested in that. I'll still go out and say, if you want a guy to go ahead, the one that makes the most sense to me is trading for Brandon Cooks, but you're right. The other reason why I'm not going to go out and get OBJ is because if I wanted an injury-riddled receiver, I would rather just go get Jamison Williams, the wide receiver from Alabama, because he's going to be a lot cheaper. Let's go to Wyatt. What up, Wyatt? Appreciate you watching, brother. How we feel if the Raiders sign Van Noy? We need linebackers and could be a good mentor for Diablo. So personally, I think this move makes a lot of sense. I think from a 3-4 standpoint, from a Raiders standpoint, from a everybody standpoint, it does make a lot of sense. I also think another player that makes a lot of sense is actually, Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan has played with Patrick Graham before, and I'm not saying he's going to be the main safety, but if the Raiders aren't 100% sold on Jonathan Abram, and I think one thing that I've seen out of this new regime is if they think that they can upgrade and go out and find somebody better, no disrespect to Yannick Ngakoue. We know he's a hell of a player, but he wasn't as good against the run, which is why they decided to go a different route here. Go out and get somebody like Rocky Sin, who I'm telling you, he's going to be rocking with Raider Nation. You guys are going to like him a lot, and that's what they did. They have no commitments to Jonathan Abram. Jonathan Abram's got 1 year left on his deal. They're not going to exercise his 5th-year option, so it could be interesting, and good mentor for Diablo. Could be a good mentor, though. They are different styles of players. Like Devon Diablo is a linebacker/safety. That's what he did at Virginia Tech. Compared to Van Noy, he's more of a edged 3-4 linebacker style of role. So both good players. Diablo, though, I mean, he can learn from everyone, right? All right, guys, so it's time to get your red pens out. I want you to grade the Raiders' move so far in free agency, and I also want you to throw in the Yannick Ngakoue Rock Ya-Sin trade in there. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know what y'all are thinking, and remember, if you want to get those questions or comments on the show, go ahead and hashtag Raiders, or you can go ahead and super chat. So let's give some shout-outs now to some grades. I got Derek's going to go with a D+. Giovanni Tejada's going to go with a B. Got BB2 says B. Cesar Martinez B. Richard Lyons going to go B. 6 says C. Alex Amota, C. Austin Raiders, C. Don't Trip is going to go with a B. I'm probably a C to a C+ at this current moment. I'll still go ahead and say that I believe the Raiders are the worst team in the AFC West, though. If you go ahead, you make the right moves going forward, then you can absolutely go ahead and get back into this race. It's a long off-season race. You might be in last place now, but if you can still make a few key moves, go out and address a few key positions, you can still turn this offseason around into the favor of the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go to Akash Kumar. Since A-Rob went to L.A., what do you think we're going to do? I mean, I still could see the Raiders trying to sign a cheaper wide receiver. However, if it was up to me, I'm looking at right tackle right now. I'm going to look at Morgan Moses, who went for, I think it was like $5 million a year. Why not go out and try to get La'el Collins? La'el Collins was just released by the Dallas Cowboys. If Morgan Moses went for $5 million, you could probably get La'el Collins, put him in as your right tackle, $8 million, okay? You address that need, and then I'm going to go out and still trying to build this defense because people are going to talk about the offense all they want for Carr, right? Carr, Devontae Adams, out. I mean, it's going to be won with defense. Go out, get some more defensive players, address the right tackle position, and with all these receivers like with Christian Kirk making his amount of money, I'd rather just go out and get a top young receiver in the draft like a Chris Olave, a Garrett Wilson, maybe somebody like Traylon Burks, Jamison Williams, throw his name out there, Drake London. These are all guys who I could see going in the first round. If it was up to me, though, I'm going to go Chris Olave. That's my dude. Let's go to B or 2. I want Logan Ryan and Jabril Peppers and Collins. Well, you're only going to get one because getting all three doesn't make any sense. I mean, it just doesn't. The one that I could see happening now would actually be Logan Ryan because he was released. by the New York Giants. Spent some time with Patrick Graham, obviously, in that defense. Spent some time his first 4 years with the New England Patriots. There's a lot of connections there. Jabril Peppers also had himself a halfway decent season, though. Jabril reminds me a lot of what you were hoping Jonathan Abram could have potentially turned into. And Landon Collins, he played on the Washington Commanders last season. He got released. He also actually has spent a little bit of time. Remember, he was the old safety for the New York Giants. He's had some injuries, I believe an Achilles, kind of rack up around him. So that's definitely something to at least keep in mind. However, Logan Ryan, I'll say, is the most likely at this current juncture. So I did say I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink today unless the Raiders make a move. And as always, I will say this, though. Sam, you can show the thing. If we get to these numbers, okay, I got a lot of catching up to do. So if we get to, let's say, 1,500 likes an hour from now and the Raiders make a move, I got to do 3 shots of Fireball. If we get to 1,000 in supers, I got to do 2 games of shot clock and then a boot. I will have a lot of catching up to do, but I'm a superstitious person. I wore the same Raiders jersey 4 games in a row when they had their winning streak. I just wanted to be able to say, I said I wouldn't drink yesterday until the Raiders made a move. And then they made a move. So I'm hoping that superstition in me is just going to go ahead and ride that out. But I'm telling y'all, if we get up to some of these high numbers like we did yesterday, well, then I got a lot of catching up to do, and I'm more than willing to do it for Raider Nation. All right, let's keep on going through some of these super chats here. Appreciate everyone watching. Also, everyone, let's get those F-Sams in the chat. Oh, I thought Sam was about to come on. Yeah, there he is, Sam Brown. Let's go. Get those F-Sams.
I was going to say I'll volunteer to take some of those drinks so you won't have to play as much catch-up.
Are you guys okay with that? Are you guys, how about you drink in the beginning and then I'll drink at the end if they make a move?
Where are the people that actually write fuck Sam?
So
those are always the ones that I like to see.
So let's get some F-Sams down there in the chat. He's back. If you guys want Sam to drink, we'll make Sam drink for everything that's up on screen so far. So once we get every 500 likes, Sam will take a shot of Fireball. If we get $20, Sam will take a shot of Fireball there. 500 will play shot clock. So if you guys are having a good time, let's go ahead. Let's get the quick 500 likes really quick right off the top here. Let's go to the next super chat. It's from Justin. What's up, brother? Chance of the Raiders now trading for Brandon Cooks. This would be the move that I would want the Raiders to do. However, I do not know if the Raiders are going to go out and they're going to make any more moves at wide receiver. It has been reported by Tom Pelissero that the Raiders were interested in making calls. They finished in either second or third place behind the Rams for Allen Robinson, which tells me that they absolutely are still looking at the wide receiver market. Let's go to Derek. What's up, my man? Losing a 25-year-old pass rusher with 5 or 6 good years left for a 32 who might want to have 2 years left. We whiffed in getting a wide receiver 1. You know, I can understand you saying the whole Yannick Ngakoue thing, but I don't really think you're looking at the complete picture personally. The worst year Ngakoue has ever had was back in 2020, and he was in a 3-4 style of defense with the Baltimore Ravens. Also, he's bad against the run. And to be successful in a 3-4, especially in Patrick Graham's system, you need your edge rushers to also be halfway decent against the run. So I understand people being a little bit upset about the Ngakoue move, but you can't look at it like that. I think realistically you got to look at it like you were able to get Chandler Jones, who is still an upgrade over Yannick Ngakoue, and then you got Chandler Jones and Rock Ya-Sin for Ngakoue. That's what you were able to get. And I'll talk about here why I think the Raiders won that deal coming up in a little bit here on the Raiders Report. Let's go to GJ. Is the Ruggs contract still on the books? Yes, and Damon Arnett. If the Raiders want to get those off the books, they're going to have to essentially do some civil cases, and they'll do that this offseason. I said it on the Raiders Report earlier in the week that it's more than likely that could take over a year, and I'm not going to anticipate the $8.5 million that you get from Ruggs, that you get for Arnett, actually get reverted back to the Raiders until next offseason. That's how long sometimes those court cases take, because until the whole thing gets settled with Henry Ruggs, the Raiders can't really do anything at this current moment. So, yes, it's still on the books. Now, to make sure that you guys could always help and support the show, if you guys could give us a follow on Rumble, that would be definitely appreciated. I'm live here on the Raiders Report. I'm also live on Rumble right now. And if you guys want to get an exclusive video today, I'm actually going to end the Raiders YouTube show here on YouTube, and we'll see when that's going to happen. It's going to be in a little bit. And then I'm going to do an exclusive live on Rumble. So essentially, we'll end the video here, and then we're going to hop over to Rumble only. No YouTube, only Rumble. So if you want to get an extra video essentially today, if you want to join us during our live show, go ahead, give us a follow now. That way, in an hour and a half, 2 hours from now, when we go over to Rumble, you're like, wait, where'd the show go? This is where we're going to be. So give us a follow, rumble.com/Raiders Report. It's free and uncensored. Like YouTube, I can't drop the F-bomb. So tell Sam, stop dropping the F-bomb. Over on Rumble, we can drop the F-bomb. We can say it as much as we want. That's what makes Rumble kind of fun. So go ahead, give us a follow, rumble.com/Raiders Report. Let's go to Kenny Raiders. What's up, brother? A-Rob is a sucker. He won an easy ride for a ring. I disagree with that. Allen, I think, went ahead and got the best deal available. From what I heard, the Rams were the highest bidder, which is pretty wild to me considering the fact of how much money Christian Kirk just got. But I also, if I was Allen Robinson, I would be like, wow, shit, if that's what OBJ just did in that system, why would I not try to go over there as well? And I'm never going to blame a player for wanting to go chase a ring. And if anything, I respect players more for wanting to go chase rings instead of getting a big fat paycheck, ripping off a football team, getting mad a year or two later, and then demanding a trade or getting released because they suck. I'd rather have a guy go ahead and chase a ring. Let's go to Danny Rhines. Who do you think the Raiders will sign next? I've been sitting up here on this show, and I've been saying Kyle Van Noy for a long time. I think Logan Ryan is very interesting still. I still think that we could see a trade for James Bradbury. I still think that the Raiders could still go ahead and sign somebody like Stephon Gilmore. I don't think that any of those things are impossible. I got a few of my free agent predictions correct, but that's where I'm going to sit right now. Let's go to Anabar. What up, brother? Hang on a second. Hang on. What do you say?
Eagles released Fletcher Cox, post-June 1st designation.
Ooh, so Fletcher Cox, he just got released. I know the Raiders have been interested in Fletcher for quite some time, and he's definitely a big boy that you could throw on the inside of your defensive line and really let him wreak havoc. So
it's worth noting that apparently his team and representatives are still talking with the Eagles about a potential return, but they're going to cut him post-June 1st, probably bring him back for cheaper.
Interesting. Okay. Let's go to Aman Bra, 1992. Any chance the Raiders trade for a player like Van Jefferson with the Rams signing Allen Robinson and close to signing OBJ per Shefty? I haven't seen anything about Schefter signing OBJ. That one I have yet to see come through. I haven't seen close to signing.
Schefter said that whenever he broke the Allen Robinson news, he said the Rams still have money left over for OBJ and hope to re-sign him per sources.
Okay, so they're still trying to hope to bring him back. That's pretty interesting to me. I mean, Van Jefferson might want out of there, but again, if I'm the Rams, you're in all-in mode, and they've been able to prove that draft picks are super overvalued, that you might as well just go out and invest in players that you know are actually good instead of taking shots and risks on players that maybe you're not 100% sure on. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Van, he's good, but there's a lot of other players I'd rather trade for. Let's go to Robert. At this point, all in for Adams. Not gonna happen. Everyone say it with me. Devontae Adams. Not gonna happen. C. Moreno 195. Mitch, we need a right tackle and a wide receiver really bad. How do you think we address these needs? P.S. Watching your show from Poland on deployment. Raider Nation is everywhere. Well, first off, thank you for serving. Major shout out to you. Poland was actually a country that I always wanted to visit when I used to live in Germany, and we appreciate your service. In terms of a right tackle and a wide receiver, I agree. We do need a right tackle. We need a receiver. I'd rather the Raiders, though, go out and they'd spend money on right tackle right now, like a La'el Collins, like I've been pounding on the table for. And then if you can go out and get a number one receiver in the NFL draft, I personally think that's a better use of your money because we know Hunter's going to be an inside slot guy. To be honest, another interesting thing that I know the Patriots always used to do was they'd always have like two good guys that they could rely on as being slot. I mean, I remember the Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola days. I remember Wes Welker when he was lining up in the slot, and they've always been able to implement these style of dudes. What if the Raiders go out and they get somebody like Jarvis Landry, throw him on the inside? with Hunter Renfrow? What if they go out and get Cole Beasley, who was just released by the Buffalo Bills, who I think would be a really good fit with the Raiders? Let's go to Ronnie Smith. Trade Mullen and Abram for Bradbury for a second and a fifth. Yeah, unfortunately, Abram and Mullen don't really do much for the Giants because you're going to have to pay Mullen probably like $3 million. You're going to have to pay Abram about $3 million, and that's not going to happen, right? I mean, if anything, I think the Raiders, if they were to do a trade like that, it would be Bradbury and a fifth for like Abram and Mullen straight up. Like Mullen to me, I would say is probably worth a fourth, maybe a fifth-round pick, and then I'd also go ahead and say Abram's probably worth a fifth. So the fact that I thought Bradbury is worth a fifth, I'd say Bradbury and a fifth for Abram and Mullen. It's just they don't have a lot of value. Not sure if you mentioned Alex Bars. What do you think? It's funny because I saw Alex Bars, the deal went down, and the fact that literally nobody talked about it kind of tells you everything you need to know. Alex has played some snaps at center. He's played some snaps at guard. He even played a little bit at right tackle last season. I'm going to go ahead and say that this reminds me a lot of the Nick Martin deal that the Raiders made last season. However, Alex Bars is a worse version than Nick Martin. To be honest, it wouldn't even surprise me if Bars doesn't even make the 53-man roster. I get you're trying to add depth here, and he could be a little bit of a versatile style of player. But he had a a pass blocking grade last season, according to PFF, of 18. Or maybe it's 19. All I know is this. It's in the teens. Alex Bars is absolutely nothing to write home about. Nothing. Sorry. Let's go to Matthew Lozano. Mitch, I'm a little nervous about Carr not having enough weapons. Yesterday was a good day, and hoping we continue to make some more great moves. F. Sam. So, I understand what you're saying. However, if this is the other part of why I didn't want the Raiders to go out and give Carr a lot of money, because if you go out and give Carr a lot of money, you don't have as many opportunities to put a lot of talent around him, and we've already seen the whole song and dance. Derek Carr is not good enough if you pay him a lot of money to carry a team. It's just simple fact. They made him the highest paid player in the NFL, 0 playoff wins to show for it. If you're made the highest player in the NFL, you are meant to be able to carry a team, so he wasn't able to do that. If it looks like Carr can still put up good numbers with Renfrow, Waller. Hopefully you go out and add somebody else, because I don't believe very highly in Bryan Edwards. You need to still go out and add a receiver, whether that's somebody in the draft like Jahan Dotson, Chris Olave, all these guys that I can see going in the first round. You gotta hope that Derek can carry the team. But as long as Derek just doesn't turn the football over, takes care of it, and the defense can lean on, that's how the Raiders are going to win this division, on the back of the defense and with a solid running game with Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake. Let's go to Jordan Nichols. Are Van Jefferson or Robert Woods on the move now? I'd be shocked if they decided to move on from Robert Woods. However, I'm a bigger fan of Robert Woods. I also know that the Rams like Robert Woods a lot. However, they did just win a Super Bowl without him, so Robert Woods would have more value. He is coming off an injury. Van Jefferson, the receiver, I believe he first came out of Florida, who, tall, lanky style of dude, okay hands. I would say Van Jefferson and Bryan Edwards are probably the exact same in terms of talent. Robert Woods could be the number one, though, on the Raiders. I'm not saying he's a true number one, more of a 1B, but Robert Woods, if he came to the Raiders, would be the best receiver that the Silver and Black have. So you guys can go ahead now and tell me, what's your favorite free agent signing minus Chandler Jones? I want you to think about all the moves, okay? All the moves that the Raiders have made. Which one is your favorite free agent signing minus Chandler Jones? Because I knew if I asked you this, every single person would go ahead and say Chandler Jones, right? So who's your favorite free agent signing minus Chandler Jones? Somebody said Rock Ya-Sin. Rock Ya-Sin's technically not a signing. Rock Ya-Sin was an acquisition. That's the difference. He was an acquisition. We got Bolden. We have, Averett. We have, I'm seeing Averett. That's probably the only name. Somebody said Phillips, Anthony, and Nichols. I'm going to guess you guys don't know who the Raiders got. It's not great, right? All right, keep on getting those votes in. Let's go to Pancho Aguirre, pick up Drake London in the draft. So Drake London is a receiver that I like, USC type of dude. However, he was labeled as 6'5". He's like a Cali kid. I don't know. He's a Cali kid. Listen to him talk. Not saying he's not a good receiver.
It's a very elaborate way of saying he went to USC.
He's a Cali kid. Listen,
he's a USC type of guy.
He's a USC type of guy. But he's 6'3". He was actually listed at 6'5". He's 6'3". He's still an incredible receiver. He was putting up redunculous numbers with the Trojans before that wicked ankle injury that he had. I still think he can be really good. I was looking for a little bit more out of him at the combine, but if you can get him at 22, I'm on board for that. Let's go to Andane Ventura. What do you think about Alex Bars that got signed by us? I'd give it a D- grade. Not crazy about it. He's a below-average guard, below-average center, below-average. He's a really, really bad right tackle. So I said he'd be like a Nick Martin style of move. However, just Nick Martin is better than Alex Bars. What up, Derek? Appreciate another super chat, brother. Wow, we're flying all over the place. What do we got? If we were to get Adams, do you think it would make the Raiders better in the AFC West? Sure. I mean, Devontae Adams on any team is going to make you better. However, if that's the move you want, then the Raiders are done. You're not going to get another solid right tackle. You better hope you get him in the draft because the Raiders just still have way too many holes, and I don't know how many times I can say this. Raiders have way too many holes on offense and on defense to go out and get a player like Devontae Adams. If you were a wide receiver away, a Super Bowl caliber team, then you go ahead and make the move. As much as I love the Raiders right now, they still have way too many holes to be able to consider themselves a Super Bowl caliber team. So we got to 110,000 subs yesterday, which is a crazy accomplishment because I remember the day that we got 10,000 subs and I dyed my beard and I dyed my hair silver. In fact, I think we only had 4 people working at Chat Sports at that current moment. Now we got about 16 or 17 full-time guys, so that's a pretty awesome thing. So if you guys love the Raiders, if you bleed silver and black, to make sure that you never miss a thing, I want you to go ahead, turn on those notifications, hit that subscribe button, because if the Raiders go ahead and they sign somebody, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be breaking it down, even if it is Alex Bars, for the goodness sake. All right, y'all, we got almost 1,900 people watching. If we get to 500 likes, Sam, he's got to go ahead and take a shot of Fireball. Those are the rules. I'm going to drink only if the Raiders make a move. It worked yesterday, so I'm going to hope and trust my gut. That's still filled with Fireball, beer bongs, just boots galore. I literally, this morning, when I literally peed out shoelaces from the amount of boots that I drank yesterday. It was insane, man. I had a hell of a time. Yesterday was probably one of the most fun shows that I've ever done here at Chat Sports, and it's all credit to you. Sam, go get yourself some Fireball, my brother. Let's go to the next one. Coming in here from I'm Batman. Imagine being a Browns fan, thinking your team has actually turned it around, then this. Laugh out loud. So you're regarding Baker Mayfield, right? You go ahead, you draft Baker, the Heisman Trophy winner from Oklahoma, first overall pick back in 2018. He comes out as a rookie, has a pretty damn good season. I believe he had 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and everyone's like, okay, Baker Mayfield, he might be the real deal. Then he goes ahead, he struggles a little bit, has a few more injuries, continues to struggle. Other NFL players want the hell out of there. Then today, Baker Mayfield demands a trade, which I also found very funny because a few days ago, Baker released that whole thing on his notes, which Microsoft Word was probably in a meltdown mode after seeing that. And he's like, oh, he's putting out this goodbye Cleveland thing, and he ends it with essentially like, this has absolutely nothing to do with all the rumors around Deshaun Watson. Okay, Baker. Okay, Baker. So then today, requests a trade. Cleveland goes ahead and says, not so fast, sweetheart. We're not going to accept that trade. So now we're going to have a very interesting situation. So I actually appreciate this question because I love talking about the NFL. I love talking about fantasy football. Sure, Raiders is my, the meat and potatoes of this show and definitely what I know the most. However, I like talking about other things that could potentially impact the Raiders and a team in the AFC. Last time I checked, impacts the Raiders. Let's go to the next super chat from Derek. Allen Robinson isn't a wide receiver one anyway, so I'm not mad. He is. And I still think we need to push heavy for Devontae Adams to salvage 2022. What's your hangover cure? If anybody wants to know my hangover cure, I put it on my Instagram story. I did it for a reason because somebody asked me this question yesterday, and I said, cool, I'm going to be hungover. So what I do is what you see on my Instagram story, I do that before I go to bed, and then also when I wake up in the morning. And because I drank so much liquid yesterday, I got up to pee not once, not twice, 3 times in the middle of the night last night. That's maybe a new record for me. And the second time I got up, I felt really dehydrated, and I drank more of my hangover cure. So if you guys want to see it, it's at Mitchell Rents 365. It works phenomenally, and I'm telling y'all, it's worth it. The Panda Sups, you get some milk thistle in you, and then you go ahead and get a little vitamin C as well. All right, let's go to the next Super Chat coming in here on the Raiders Report. Also, Sam's got his Fire Bleezy, so Sam's going to go ahead and take a shot of Fireball. He owes it every time we get to 500 likes, so we are another 500 likes away from Sam doing another Fireball shot, or every $20 that comes in, Sam will rip one, and if, let's say we get to 500 in Super Chats, the Raiders make a move, I got a lot of catching up to do. That's all I know.
By the way, I was going to say, Mitch's hangover cure is just drinking more.
Ugh, I mean, if I didn't drink almost, I mean, realistically, I've drank probably the amount of Fireball I've consumed the last 3 days.
A lot of Fireball.
A lot of Fireball the last 3 days in a row. Today I woke up and I felt it. I woke up, I stretched, and during my stretch, I cramped. And I was like, Mitch, you're only 29 years old. Get it together, man.
I feel better about myself whenever you said that you woke up 3 times overnight, because I only woke up once at like 4:30. I did wake up like half an hour before my alarm went off, but at the same time, I wasn't powering through it as badly
Chris
as you were.
Nessel, I like what you said. It got blocked, so that was kind of funny. All right, let's go to the next Super Chat from Latuya67. Mitch has to eat his own foot if we get Adams. I won't eat my own foot because I need it to be able to stand on and talk up here to y'all. I'm not going to eat somebody else's foot because that's really weird to go ahead and do. I'll make you guys a deal. I usually do drinking challenges. If the Raiders go get Devontae Adams, we have a chip out there, okay? It literally came in a coffin. It was a $5 chip. It is the hottest, spiciest chip in the entire world. Jeremy had literally a corner of it, and he was eating paper towels and drinking milk. That's how hot it is. So if I eat that chip, I'll do it because I think it's a red-hot move for the
Raider
Raiders.
Nation.
For Raider Nation. I'll do it. It's like Hot Ones on steroids. Let's go to the next one from Sergio. What are our best options for wide receiver and offensive line now? All the best options are almost gone. I mean, wide receiver, I'll still say OBJ's up there, though I don't see the Raiders going that route. I think Cole Beasley is actually a very interesting name. Jarvis Landry, Juju Smith-Schuster. I know the Raiders have been interested in MBS, Marcus Valdez-Scaling, the Green Bay Packers receiver, because they're looking for a fuel stretcher. They're looking for a little bit of speed, but I personally don't want them to go ahead and get him. In terms of offensive line, I still think La'el Collins makes a lot of sense. A cheaper route could be Cornelius Lucas. David Questenberry is another name that I like on the offensive line. So how about this, y'all? You can be the GM. And I want to know, name a player that you want the Raiders to go ahead and sign. I will go ahead and give some shout-outs here. Also, if anybody wants an update on NCAA games, send in a super chat of the game that you want me to go ahead and give you guys an update on. More than happy to go ahead and do that because I'm curious. You know what, Sam? Make a weigh-in of who people predicted to win March Madness. How about that? I know NFL free agency, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. But I'm also a big sports nut, and I'm excited to see some March Madness basketball. My family and I, this is going to be our 17th straight year of doing the March Madness tournament that we do. And the person that comes in first place, you get. I think it's like $180. I think we do it every year, so it's somewhere around there. Depends how many people joined. I didn't see how many people joined. So let's see, y'all. Let's give some shout outs to the peeps. Who do you guys want? Also, I think it's funny when somebody sends in Cox, Fletcher Cox. Collins from G. Rich. Julio is washed up from Zod Guts. I don't think Julio's washed up. I think Julio's injured. I think there's a difference there. Stephon Gilmore from Jay Singleton. JJ from Leighton Rately. We got OBJ, Collins, more Stephon Gilmore. BB2 got La'el Collins. That's the guy that I want. LC Raider says Juju. We got Collins from Captain Rex. Bradbury from Lex. Remember, Bradbury's still a member of the Giants, though I think Logan Ryan could make a little sense as well. Juwan Bentley. I like the Juwan Bentley pick there. We got Van Noy from BB2. Devontae still coming in. Hell to the no for OBJ. Instead of saying hell to the no for OBJ, we say no BJ. Let's go to LC Raider. Raiders! Let's get that Chris Olave kid. He's going to be a stud, Mitch. I told y'all, probably about 3 months ago that Chris Olave might not be the number one on a lot of people's boards, but I believe Olave would be the best receiver for the Raiders. His route running, his speed, his intelligence, it would pair so well with the strengths of Derek Carr. I personally think that Treylon Burks, Drake London, Garrett Wilson are more athletic than Chris Olave. However, Derek Carr works best with receivers that can run solid routes, that know exactly what their job is, and that just find a way to get open even if the route doesn't dictate that. That's what Chris Olave has done. It's why he works so well with Hunter Renfrow, and it's why that I really truly believe Chris Olave made the most sense. Let's go to Garrett Edwards. If you want to get super drunk, take a shot when someone asks about an Adams trade. I mean, you're not wrong. So I know Tom always plays this game where the only time he's allowed to talk about a safety is if somebody super chats about it. So maybe if you guys – see, I don't even want to drink for Devontae Adams. That's I've already kind of given my case on it. I'll tell you this, though. I will do an entire show if the Raiders trade for Devontae Adams. Not only will I eat that freaking chip, I'll do a show where every time somebody sends in a super about Devontae, we'll drink for it. Let's go to Klisman. Can we afford to bring in La'el Collins, Cox, or Gilmore? Unfortunately, I don't have the updated look at the salary cap because I don't think all the contract details are put out there. So, like, when you look at places like Over the Cap or Spotrac, those numbers aren't updated yet. I do know the Raiders are going to get about $20 million after June 1st, so maybe the Raiders try to rely on having some of that money, and they go ahead and give some other dudes up front types of contracts. But when we came into free agency, you're sitting somewhere around 32. The Raiders did go out. They made a good move for Chandler Jones. That's $17 million this year. They made a few other moves as well. However, they've also cut a few guys. So I don't have the exact number because I actually don't know if it's even out there unless you're the one making the exact contract for the silver and black. But do the Raiders still have money to make moves? Yes. Yes, they do. Let's go to Joshua Proms. Hey, Mitch. What do you think about the Bills releasing Cole Beasley, and do you see him signing with the silver and black? I think that Cole Beasley could make at least a little bit of sense. I think that we've been able to see what Hunter Renfrow is able to do in this offense and how easy it is to be able to fit in, be a solid slot receiver. However, it depends how much money Cole Beasley is going to get. I know Cole is not the most popular name to some people out there for his shenanigans, we'll call them, or whatnot, but Cole Beasley and Hunter Renfrow, I think, would be just like Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola. And I'm not just saying that because they're both white receivers. I'm saying that because they're both good route runners, and Beasley, with the numbers that he put up last season, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Beasley has a couple bangers, too. Not a terrible rapper.
I'll tell you what.
He's got a couple songs that get after it.
I ripped on Damon Arnett more than anyone because not only is he a terrible person, not only is he a horrible football player, He might actually be a better rapper than he is an NFL player, but Cole Beasley can actually rap. Cole Beasley's actually good. And if you want to actually hear somebody get down on a beat, Cole can do it. He is kind of a shitty person, though, too. Let's go to Chris Q. Can we get Fletcher Cox? Yes, the Raiders could, in fact, get Fletcher. However, we kind of talked about it. Still sounds like Fletcher and his agent are still trying to work something out with Philadelphia, like maybe they're going to go ahead and release him and try to get him back on a cheaper style of deal. Though when you're talking about a big dude up the middle, Fletcher is a perfect fit for what the Raiders are going to go ahead and try to do with their new 3-4. If you're unable to get Calais Campbell, because I still think Calais Campbell might actually be a better fit for what the Raiders are going to try to implement than Fletcher, but both players I'd be happy about. Let's go to Ronnie Smith. Okay, so I would love to see us draft Penning, so Trevor Penning, in the first round, Christian Watson in the second or third. I like Christian Watson, the receiver from North Dakota State. However, he's more of a third-round style of receiver for me. I mean, because the Raiders are 101, I believe is the pick that they have, or somewhere in that realm. Either way, third-round receiver, that's a lot better for the silver and black than going ahead and, actually 101's not right. It'd be, 83, hashtag math, somewhere in the low 80s for the Raiders. In terms of Penning at 22, the fact that the Ravens went ahead and they got Morgan Moses, to me, that was the team that I really thought could go out and get Trevor Penning. But I'd actually rather have La'el Collins at $8 million than going out and getting Trevor Penning at 22, because then you have La'el Collins, you fill your right tackle spot, which means then you go ahead and draft a receiver at 22. All right, guys, so I like this question a lot. Are you drinking for St. Patrick's Day? Why for yes and for no? I feel a little weird not drinking on St. Patty's Day. Also, Marshall whose last name's also Green, and apparently he's also a leprechaun. I got pinched today because this is what I wore to work. I actually never heard the whole pinch you if you don't wear green on St. Patty's Day.
I'm not doing much better here. I've got red and black.
Yeah, Will's got some green on, though, so we got new guy Will in the studio here. He's trying to see how Raider Nation likes to get down. But are you guys drinking on St. Patty's Day? Why for yes and for no?
If you want.
If you guys want to say hi to Will, he's repping his green. Say hi to Will. He's going to be taking over our Dolphins channel and doing some other content here at Chat Sports. So shout out to Miami Willie. Why for yes and for no are you drinking for St. Patty's Day?
If you wear, this is a question that actually got some debate because I'm not really going to celebrate today, although we're going to open that. But I also went to the Patty's Day parade on the weekend. So if you wear green at a St. Patrick's Day event that you are actually celebrating that's not on the day,
okay,
does that save you maybe from getting pinched on the day when you're not wearing the green?
It's a good question because I went to a St. Patrick's Day party on Saturday. Had a good time, though. Yeah. I knew free agency was going to be a crazy week, and I think I've said this. I know I've said this a few times on the show this week where I was offered shots, and I'm like, can't do shots. I know I'm going to drink a lot at work, and people are like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, yeah, go to the Raiders Report on YouTube. That's where we're at. So why for yes?
Ever heard of it?
And for no. Eden Gonzalez says no. Eric Ward says not drinking because of St. Patty's Day, just drinking cuz. Hey,
the day ends in a Y.
Hey, day ends in a Y. Dylan Eggers, I see what you're doing. We got a Y from Dennis Doyle. Dennis, how the hell are you, brother? No from Etwan. No, sitting with my little granddaughter, watching you, Mitch, getting her to become a little Raider fan from Mark. That's kind of cool.
I like it.
I'm glad that I'm not getting totally trashed then in front of your granddaughter. We got a few more no's coming in. Ain't scared Terry hurt from his ankle a lot. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate everyone watching. Let's go to Bone Daddy 24. This might be Will's burner account. How many was Alex? Did you sleep on the couch? How mad was Alex?
He didn't say no, by the way.
Alex wasn't too upset. She understands the whole realm of everything going on with the show, the way that we make money, the way that she can afford to have a house to live in as well. I would say Chuck was the one that was more mad at me because I've noticed when I drink, Chuck doesn't like to come around me. I don't know if it's just because I smell like liquor and he doesn't like it, but when I drink, I feel like I come home and he wants nothing to do with me. He's like, I know what you were doing, and that breaks my heart because if you follow me on IG, you know that Chuck's my dude. That's also my dog. All right, let's go to Andrew. What up, brother? Thoughts on possible Fletcher Cox signing? Could make some sense. Big interior defensive tackle. Definitely would fill one of the Raiders' needs. However, I would still rather have Calais Campbell. Also, even Akeem Hicks. Akeem Hicks makes some sense as well. Let's go to Alexander. Mitch, Fletcher Cox and Leo Collins got released today. What's the probability we sign one of them? Any news about the possibility of signing Bobby Wagner? I don't see the Raiders signing Bobby Wagner, and Wagner's going to be really patient. Personally, if you're going to bring back another linebacker, I would just say go ahead and get KJ Wright. That move seems to make some sense to me. And then in terms of Collins or Cox, I still rather go ahead and say that I would rather just have, the Raiders just tweeted out, we signed, and then I saw, it's Chandler Jones. So they're just going through their old stuff. But my heart sank a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I almost was just like, get the boots out. Let's crack it open. Leo Collins, though. Leo Collins would be the guy I'd rather have out of those two. Defnin 11. Do you think they changed DC throwing style? I don't see why. He's 30 years old, about to be 31. If he was a bad quarterback, then I don't see why you would. I mean, I rip on DC a lot. I'm probably one of the most difficult people on card in terms of being a Raiders analyst. But why would you change a quarterback who's done as much as DC has done? He's a top. I mean, if he was a terrible quarterback, maybe change up his style. But no, I don't see him changing up his throwing style. He's not Tim Tebow, though. Josh McDaniels did draft Tim Tebow after all. Let's go to the next question coming up here on the Raiders Report. We got 1,800 people watching. If you haven't liked the video yet, please go ahead and do so. Sam, I got a little bit of a favor to ask. I want you to find out how many likes and super chats the Cowboys Report has and NFL Daily. If you can make a weigh-in 3 out of it, I want to beat the Cowboys Report and I want to beat NFL Daily as well. That's one of my goals. Let's go to Richard. Tell Michael I said hi. Everyone needs to shut the F up about Adams already. Cooks and London is the way to go. So Brandon Cooks and Drake London. However, I will say this. If the Raiders go out and they trade for Brandon Cooks, I don't think they draft a receiver in the first round. I don't think they draft a receiver in the second round. I think they wait a little bit more to the third round because I still think if you had Brandon Cooks, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller as your top 3 pass catchers, Brian Edwards then could technically be your 4. Foster Moreau could be your 5. The Raiders are also going to use their backs because New England has always used their backs in the offense. That's why you're going to have Jacobs. That's why you're going to have Drake. That's why they went out and signed Brandon Bolden, who had 41 catches last season. He had 21 first downs. So, like, you have enough pass catchers at that point. Wow. Wow. Well, get the boot. I said I wouldn't drink, but I'll drink for that. Let's go. Let's get a green boot. Let's get a drink. Let's get a green boot. So it's St. Patty's Day. Let's fill it up a boot and let's fill it up with green. I said I wouldn't drink, but you know what? I'll drink for that. Let's get after it. Oh man, Chef 2. I don't even know what to say. It's not expected. Had no idea that this was going to go this way, but you know what? I'm ready. All right, I'm going to do my best to read this. We just got a $500 super chat from Chef 2. Woo! Somebody's ready to party. You ready? Yeah, I mean, I said I would drink if a signing happened. As far as I'm concerned, that's worth a damn boot. So let's go to if Trent Dilfer can win a Super Bowl, so can Carr with the right defense. You're right. You are 100% right. Trent Dilfer was terrible. However, that Baltimore defense was like incredible. I also think that I know a lot of times we talk about the old Raiders defenses, right? And even that Baltimore defense at the time. I can't believe this just happened. You can't hit people the way that you used to. You can't put your hands on people. You can't be physical the way that you used to be able to. So for that reason, which is why I think the NFL now is an offensive-driven league. It's why quarterbacks put up so many stats. It's why wide receivers put up the amount of numbers, because I'm telling you this right now, wide receivers going over the middle, if they were to do that 20 years ago, they'd get their heads ripped off. You'd get blown up 30, 40 years ago, please. Like, you want to talk about some of the Raiders' greats? They wouldn't even be allowed to play today. Vontaze Burfict would have been celebrated 20, 30 years ago, which is, like, I get the idea of building these defenses, and I get the idea if Trent Dilfer can do it, you're right. But Trent Dilfer wouldn't be able to play in today's game, and I don't think Trent Dilfer would win a Super Bowl in today's football era. Let's go ahead and answer the rest of this. Need to protect Carr. You're right. We absolutely needed to protect Carr. I'm going to take more time on the Super Chat. Hopefully, y'all are okay with that. In terms of protecting Carr, that's why I think right tackle's the bigger need, because Carr's your most important player on offense. He is. I know I dig on Carr, but that's your biggest investment. If Carr goes down this season, the Raiders' season is over. There's not going to be somebody who'll go out and get it in free agency. There's not going to be somebody else. Season's over. That's why Derek's your most important player. Keeping him healthy is very important. No Robert Gallery, Tony Matrich, or Trent Brown types. This 500, okay, this 500 is for Sam to do some of those shots of Ice Cube. He says, steal the show, F Sam, F the Broncos, Raider down everyone, better lay it down. Raiders! So, Sam, you're also going to do a boot. So he literally has Sam Boot in this Super Chat, which you can't see because it ends up getting cut off there. So you got to do an ice-cold boot. So put a few ice cubies in there. Hey, I don't know. Yeah, put a few ice cubes in there. Ice-cold boot for Sam.
Where does it say ice?
Ice Cube says. It cuts off. I don't know.
Shot is for Sam to take some shots. Take some shots.
Ah.
Take some shots.
I thought I could get him. I didn't think he'd come over and look at it.
Thank you, Chef 2.
All right, so you take some shots. Fill up my beer, or fill up the boot. We're going to do a green boot. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it because we have a green screen, right? But, you know, we'll go ahead and do it. Mr. Leroy says, ice-cold boot for Donkey Sam. We know the ice-cold boot rules. I mean, guys, you don't understand how bad it hurts. Like, it is painful to do an ice-cold boot. That's all I got to say. It's painful. But we did ice-cold boots yesterday for 200. I said I wouldn't drink today, but you know what? After getting a 500 from Chef 2, I'm ready to get this thing cooking up at this point. Let's get it cooking up at this point. So far today's MVP, Oh, Chef, Chef, what do you do? Like, do you have a business? Do you have something that you want me to throw up here on the Raiders Report, give you guys a little bit of love? I'm more than happy to do it. I'm just waiting on Sam. We'll get the boot, and then we'll keep on going through some of these other Super Chats. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about some other stuff going on around the National Football League, break down anything else that might happen here for the Raiders, and if any other things happen in the NFL. Like, I wanted to be able to see if somebody like if Deshaun Watson made a decision today. I was hoping that Watson would make a decision today because I really, truly believe that as soon as Watson makes his choice, a lot of other NFL dominoes are going to start to fall. So we'll keep that in mind. But we got 1,800 people watching. I don't know. Did you leave the green dye in here? Oh, man, it's in your pocket. Get it together, Sam. Sam's looking for the green dye, which we bought. We bought green dye for St. Patty's Day. So he's looking for that. He's going to go fill up the beer boot. How about this, y'all? While we're waiting on Sam, and again, I want everyone to start spamming Chef2 down in the comment section. So far, today's MVP. I said I wasn't going to drink. $500 Super Chat is, I think we can all agree, absolutely worth going ahead and Super Chatting a little bit. And I think it's absolutely worth partying. So Chef 2 is the reason why we're drinking today. So you guys can all go ahead and say, shout out to him. I might even just say today's Raiders Report is presented by Chef 2. All right, we got Swaze, Julian, Mariano Butler. We got Jay, Ahmed Ayala, Brandon Growl, BB2, MJR, Jeff Garcia, Shaq Truck, Wild on 14, Jose Perez, Machiavelli Raider. Eric Nunez, TSU, Jet PG 2869. Oh my goodness. You guys can't see it. Go show them on your screen. So we bought green beer dye, and since we have a green screen, it's kind of difficult to see. I'm a little bit worried about what this is going to do to my innards. I'm not going to lie to y'all. So you guys can see it's green beer. Like oh God. It looks disgusting. I'm not going to lie to y'all. So this is what I want. Will, would you mind taking a video of this and then posting it on my Instagram story? So there you go.
I will say, I think I put a little too much of the dye.
Too much dye in it.
I was like, is this too green?
Is this too green?
They're like, yeah, you usually put like one drop. I was like, one drop is plenty. I was like, oh, yeah, I put a few.
Put a little too much in. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to take a video of this because I want y'all to see how green this is.
Oh, and by the way, I'm going to go ahead and take my shots,
I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried about ruining my sweatshirt, which I'm definitely thinking about now. So this is going to be even more important for me to not drip. I'm not taking it off because I don't really have much on underneath. So
here, let's pull the Super Chat back up.
So we're going to pull Chef's back up, Zay, and then I'll go back to yours. Zay, don't worry, we'll go back to yours. But I said I wasn't going to drink today, and then I got a 500 piece coming in from Chef too. So while Sam's taking his shots, I'm going to go ahead and drink as well. Shots. Are you videotaping this whole thing? Yikes. All right, so today's Green Beer Boot is presented by Chef 2. Major shout out to Chef for the $500 Super Chat. Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone out there. Go ahead, spam Chef 2 down in the comments. Spam 17, spam green, spam Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is for you, Raider Nation. And then Sam, he's also going to go ahead and start ripping his shots of Fireball. He's getting ready for those to get rocking and rolling. Again, Chef 2, cheers to you.
I don't know if he's going to beat the record the Trace set, but
probably not. All right, Chef 2, got 3 shots loaded up for you. Appreciate the $500. Again, you're paying for part of my rent here, so you're the man. That's one.
Oh man. So I think I can start doing it faster. The issue is with the green dye, I was so worried about it dripping on my sweatshirt. I didn't drip any, right? No. I don't want to ruin my sweatshirt. You're good, Will.
Oh, that's 3.
Shout out to you, Will.
Yes,
Will,
sir.
if you could, you know how to crop on the phone?
No.
No? Oh, so Will doesn't have an iPhone. He uses a Razor.
I was gonna say start spamming boo in the
He's
chat.
got a Razor flip phone. So all I want is from the, like, right before I start chugging it until the end, and then that way I can put it on IG. Shout out to Will, everyone. How about this? Sam, I want you to make a lower third for Will for his Twitter, and then that way we'll also give Will some shout outs here. We'll see if we can get Will on here. Maybe he'll do a boot. Maybe he'll get a little bit wild with
Will,
Raider
what's your
Nation.
Twitter?
Will Scott 44.
He's a brand new guy here at Chat Sports, and I think anytime we can bring
44?
the new people in, break them in a little bit, show them how Raider Nation likes to get down, and I think that would be pretty cool. He literally just started on Monday. You've maybe seen him a few times here on the show, but yeah, shout out to Will. What's up, man? You need the green dye.
Right.
Well, Sam only put about all of it in my beer, so
Not all of it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure about 90% of it. Whew, man. All right, so I took a green
Here's
vote.
Will's Twitter.
All right, y'all, if you guys want to go ahead, hit Will up on Twitter. You can see it down there below.
Raiders!
It's at
Raider
Will
Nation.
Scott 44.
Let's go.
Will Scott 44. Hit him up. Maybe he'll go ahead. Maybe he'll be nice enough to give some shout outs here a little bit later on. And I think
If we get some followers,
if we
I'm
get
sure.
to 1,000 if we get to 1,000 in supers, I think Will's going to come on here and he's going to do a boot. His first ever boot. I believe in him. I believe in Will. And if Will does a boot, then we'll do another Twitter plug. We'll throw his link down there in the comments. So how about this, Will? That's what I want you to do. I want you to Slack me your Twitter link. You know how to do that?
Yeah.
Go to your Twitter, top link, Slack that to me, and then we're going to be rocking and rolling. All right, y'all, if you want the Raiders to make a splash already, like Chef 2 made a splash, I want you to go ahead, like the video right now, because I said I wouldn't drink today until the Raiders actually made a move. I literally feel like that beer alone just made me drunk. Like, I feel like I still have so much liquor in my system that beer, it's hitting me. It's hitting me a little bit. I feel
That
good, though. I
Fireball.
feel a little loosey-goosey.
That Fireball's just giving me bad flashbacks to yesterday.
That
some of the
burp hurt.
points.
That
I
burp hurt.
didn't throw up like Mitch did.
All right, y'all.
Type
If we
Q.
get to 1,000 likes, then Sam's got to do more Fireball. So that's the game.
So I would say, now that we've kind of broken the seal, so to
now
speak,
we've broken the seal.
now that you've broken the seal on your end,
All right.
I think we could probably do a little bit of back and forth.
All right, that sounds good to me. All right, let's get back into some of these questions now. Again, y'all, we went a little bit off tangent there because I got a 500 super from Chef 2. Again, Chef, I appreciate you, man. That's more than generous. How about that? More than generous. Chef, do you have an Instagram? I'll give you a follow back for that one. You got an Instagram, Chef? If somebody can, if Chef 2, if you put your Instagram in there, I'll get it. David's on, just put the face palm. Yep, David, I know. Duh, I know. So, it says, what's the biggest need of the Raiders for this team? I would say it's still probably right tackle. Right tackle would probably be my top pick for being the biggest team need. However, defensive tackle is definitely up there still, and then finding a true number one receiver would be the other option. So, shout out to Will. If you guys want to go ahead and give him a follow on Twitter, we will be doing some shout outs here in a little bit for Will on Twitter. And then once we get to 1,000, let me see, how many Twitter followers is that Will at? Let me see. Will, if we can get Will to, how about 1850? 1850, he'll come on here and he'll knock a few shots down. So if we either get to 1,000 supers or 1850, so that's about 50 away, then he'll come on here, he'll knock down a few shots. In terms of biggest need, again, wide receiver, right tackle, DT. What up, Carl? Thanks for your support, Mitch. Sorry we couldn't do it all that year. Okay, let's go to Jesse. Yikes. If you only get one, are you taking Gilmore, Bradbury, or Logan Ryan? If I can only have one of these players, I'll take Stephon Gilmore because I believe Gilmore is, let's just say Gilmore goes for about 13 mil, and that's even a little bit up there. Gilmore is a better corner, I would still say, than James Bradbury. Bradbury, you'd have to pay him $13.5 million, and then you'd also have to go up and give up a pick, right? So I think Logan Ryan's a good player. I don't really know how much he's going to get. He might get 5, $6 million. I mean, that could be the cheaper option in terms of a safety. However, I'll still go ahead and say it's Gilmore because I don't have a lot of confidence in Trayvon Mullen. Maybe Trayvon can prove me wrong. I hope Trayvon proves me wrong, but I don't have a lot of confidence in him. Not only being a average corner when he's on the field, but also being a reliable and then not injury prone. Because let's face it, he gets injured very frequently. All right, so I like this question here. I want you to go ahead and pick a player. Type G for Stephon Gilmore. Type B for James Bradberry. Or I want you to go ahead and type R for Logan Ryan. Who would you take? I would take Stephon Gilmore, but I'm curious what you guys have to say. We'll go ahead and give some shout-outs here. What's up?
I said if you want a hot take, I'd say I'd probably take Bradberry, personally.
You would take Bradberry?
I think Gilmore is starting to get that Julio Jones issue where he's getting a lot of those kind of soft tissue injuries, just like the quad injury, and he dealt with a calf last year, dude.
Yep.
I mean, that stuff stacks up. So I think Bradberry's a little healthier. Yeah, maybe he's not as great at his top shape, but you're going to get him for 17 games. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Right, that would be the hope. So GBR, let me know, y'all. Pick a corner. We got, somebody said DK. All right, B-Rave's going to go Bradberry, Peak Boogie, Gilmore, Henry Taylor, Bradberry, Aaron Watson, Gilmore, Diego Torres, Gilmore, Jackson LeMessieur. He's going to go Bradberry. Sam sleeps with a pillow from Kevin Hart.
I've been seeing him send that in there.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure what that...
Is it bad? Do you not sleep with a pillow?
Well, actually, I don't want to expose him, but I actually sleep out on the side of the curb.
Yikes.
No pillows.
No pillows, only curb.
I use leaves.
Leaves for blankets.
Yeah.
He finds a stray napkin, and that's what he used to cover himself
But hey, I
up.
might sleep somewhere tonight because we just got a $500 super chat.
Very, very true. All right, let's go to Jesse Salazar, which I think we just went to. Let's go to Eric. What up, brother? Who else can we release to create more cap space? Also, shout out Becky Ram. What up, Becky Ram? In terms of who else we could cut, you could actually move on from Denzel Good. Denzel Good, it would be $4.18 million that you could end up saving. And, I mean, considering the fact that I think Denzel Good's a good player. However, what I don't want to happen is you rely on somebody like you relied on Richie Incognito, and he's never able to bounce back. Good had a pretty wicked injury last year, tearing the ACL, which can be a little bit longer of a process for an offensive lineman. However, Denzel's ability to play guard and play tackle and when you need him in a pinch, I think Denzel is a really good player to throw out there in terms of like that sixth man on your offensive line. Not good enough to be a starter like somebody in the NBA, but still good enough to be able to go out and be a reliable starter. I thought my tongue was green. It's not, right? It's kind of green. I was looking at him like it's kind of green. All right, let's go to Tyler Lewis. What's next since A-Rob is gone? Sorry if you already answered it this. I just got on the live. You're good, brother. No worries. I think what you go ahead and you do is you try to just look in the draft. The top guy out there is OBJ, and if you're going to go ahead and take OBJ, I'd rather just take Jamison Williams, who's got another injury, because he's going to be a lot cheaper. Let's just put it like that. I just think I would rather have Chris Olave at 22 than any other receiver right now in free agency. However, I still actually think that going out and addressing your needs in free agency on the defensive side of the football makes the most sense. Just putting wide receiver on the back burner, unless you want to go out and get Cole Beasley. I think Cole Beasley, Jarvis Landry is pretty interesting. I'm not going to lie. Let's go to Josh Paul. HB, if we sign Zardarius Smith and add to it. HB? Happy? What would HB mean? So I think Zardarius Smith would be a very interesting... Huh? Oh, how about? All right. Is that what you mean, how about? I personally think that Zardarius is he's a good player. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I actually thought he was going to go to Baltimore. Decided not to go to Baltimore. He said he didn't agree to the final terms of the contract. And then he's a good player. However, I think he's going to end up going for more money. And he's coming off a major injury last year. He played in only one game. He didn't play for the most of the year, so didn't really do too much. I don't know what we're talking about back here, but Chef 2, you're getting ready. We're going to... Yeah, come on. So, shout out to CEO James Yoder. He has a special message for Chef. Chef, I don't know what he's going to say, so get ready.
No, just was saying 484 followers on Rumble for Raiders Report. if you guys can get that to like 600, I'll let you stay on YouTube for a little longer. But if not, we got to go to only Rumble only here.
Rumble only?
Yeah. Cut the stream.
Whew, all right.
600, you can stay until 4:30. You get 600 in like 10 minutes.
All right, guys. So that.
4:15. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We need 116 followers, or we.
All right. So he's telling me we got to get to 600 followers on Rumble, or else the YouTube stream's gonna end. So that's like I always tell y'all, we got to do certain things. That way I can do certain things. I don't want to go. I want to be able to stay. I had some segments planned for y'all, but if I got to go ahead and do them on Rumble, I'll go ahead and I'll do them on Rumble. So if you guys could, if you want us to stay here on YouTube, or else I am going to lose my studio time, then let's go ahead. Let's give Raiders Report a follow on Rumble. Alan said, is he bluffing? No. And even if he is,
I can confirm no.
I don't really want to find out if he is. So go ahead, give us a follow on Rumble, rumble.com/Raiders Report, just for more free and uncensored type of content. I planned on going live over there anyway a little bit later on. So how about this? Let me see. We got to get that link in the chat. That's the biggest issue. The link's not in the chat. So Sam's going to go ahead and put the link in the chat. We got to get to 600. If we don't get to 600, then he's going to cut the show off at 4:30, and then I'm only going to do all of my content that I planned over on Rumble. So please, 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 let's not let that happen. And we will be doing a Rumble after-hour show, Raiders Report After Hour, at rumble.com/Raiders Report. So Sam, if you could make me up like a weigh-in to say how many more we need to go to get a tracker, because I'm going to make sure that we hit that number because I want to stay live here on YouTube. So, all right. So, well, Rumble I would say is the more important one. And then let's go to the next super chat coming in. Cool. Latuya67, should we sign Smith and trade for Denzel Mims? I'm going to say no to both of these personally. I think there's better receivers that you could trade for. And I just think Za'Darius is just going to cost a little bit too much money for what the Raiders need and what the Raiders can afford. I still think with the amount of, what's the right way to put it? Amount of holes that the Raiders have, you can't go out there and pay a lot of money. So in terms of that, I'm going to go ahead and say no. That'd be pretty bad. All right, let's go to the next one. Coming in here, it is from, I don't know yet, Mr. Leroy. Ice cold boot for Donkey Sam. Well, we might have to go ahead. And do an ice cold boot again. I was saying that we might do one for 1,000, and then we'll see what ends up happening. But
I'm not doing the boot for $10. You're gonna have to try a little harder than that, but I will. I'll count that as an F Sam, and I'll drink for that.
Okay, F Sam. Sam will take a sip up for that. All right, let's go to the next super chat coming in here. It's from J&M. Do you think we're done at corner? I'd be happy trading a third for Cooks, signing a solid right tackle, and drafting best player available. I still want to go out and get Cooks for a third. Do you think we're done at corner? I think the only way we're not done at corner is if the Raiders are 100%, or they're not sold on Trayvon Mullen. So if they think that we can go ahead and get, I don't know, somebody like Stephon Gilmore could be an interesting option, no doubt about it. Also, to Alex, to Gary, I don't want you guys to get kicked off. I don't want you guys to get kicked off the YouTube stream, so I'd say probably stop saying what you're saying. Let's go to LT_Versetti. I was really hoping we would have snagged A-Rob. What do you think we would do? Good wide receiver at this point. Keep the grind strong, Mitch. Well, shout out to you. I need the fireball because it's a $20 super, and I said once we start the drinking going, then we'll keep the drinking going here. What do we got? Really hoping that we got A-Rob. I was kind of with you there. In terms of a good wide receiver at this point, the best wide receiver in terms of bang for your buck, I think actually might be Cole Beasley for the Raiders, because I don't really think you're going to have to spend a lot of money on him. I just think that the best thing that they should do now is just invest in every other position in free agency, because wide receivers are going for a lot more than every other position, and then just go ahead and get a wide receiver in the draft. I think that's the route that you need to go ahead and do. But LT, cheers to you. Let's go to Wild on 14. Mitch, what are some lesser named, cheaper wide receivers we can sign who could benefit us, similar to how Nelson Aguilar did as a wide receiver too? I actually really like this question a lot. The issue is this. I see a lot of the receivers that could actually benefit us. You're not going to be able to find too many of these cheaper options because they're not going to have as many opportunities, I think, to get on the field right away. But when I look at some of the names here, and I'm going to go through my quick list here of wide receivers, I think the only guy that could realistically help us out and be a cheap dude, I don't like Marcus Valdes-Scantling. Emmanuel Sanders is interesting to me, if I'm being 100% honest with y'all. But besides that, I don't have a lot of confidence in any receiver to be able to come out and just be someone pretty damn solid right away like Nelson Aguilar. Though, I do think somebody who is intriguing to me, again, Cole Beasley, Juju, but you're going to have to spend more money. Just go ahead and get somebody in the draft. All right, let's go to the next one. Coming in here, and it is from next Super Chat. Appreciate Wild on 14. We got Carr needs to make better decisions throwing the football. Sure, I mean, when you don't have a very good offensive line, when your receivers can't get open, I get it. I'm very difficult on DC at times. There's no doubt about it. However, Derek didn't have a number one. Derek didn't have maybe even a number two at times. Sure, he had Hunter Renfrow, but the offensive line needed to be able to go ahead and they needed to be able to step up, needed to do other things as well on top of that. So Carr needs to make better decisions. I don't think that you're wrong in saying that, but the hope is that you can put more talent around that. That's yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. Coming in here from Steven. We need to start addressing the offensive line. AFC West is going to be a nightmare if we don't. Yeah, I mean, you got to go out and get a right tackle, and you still need another left guard. You have Colton Miller, you have Andre James, Alex Leatherwood is still a little bit of a question mark to throw in there, but sure, right tackle, left guard, still some other needs. Guys, we're 30 likes away from doing another shot of Fireball. I don't know about you. I'm ready to go ahead and try to get down here a little bit. Let's go to the next one. Coming in, and it's from, who's it from? JT the Bull, donation so you can get a new lever. I have my system. I have a system that I set in place, and you guys can see that on Instagram at MitchellRens365. Let's go to Chris Velasquez. Wow, love the show. Do you think we signed Logan Ryan? Personally, I think Logan Ryan does make sense. I know he knows the system. He's got his first start with the New England Patriots, so there's some relationship and some connections there. However, I also believe that Logan being on the New York Giants makes some sense last season, being with Patrick Graham, which is probably one of the reasons why he ended up getting released. But, yeah, I mean, Logan definitely makes sense, especially if you need to go a little bit of a cheaper route for a veteran. Dennis Doyle, F Sam, and F the Donkeys. I'll drink to that. Cheers to you, man. Oh, man. Dennis Doyle, appreciate you. Let's go to J&M. Pick a Brown to bring back. Antonio or Trent? Pass. I'm not doing it. Wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I don't want Antonio Brown anywhere near the team, and I don't want Trent Brown anywhere near the team. Neither guy's a team player. Neither dude's a good fit. Personally, I think Trent Brown would end up going to... I think Trent Brown's going to go to the Seahawks. That's my prediction. It sounds like Seattle is very much intrigued by that. However, we'll ultimately see what happens. So we got 13. Yeah. Yeah. Well. So that was James again. He's yelling at me a little bit. Go ahead, give us a follow on Rumble. Rumble.com/Raiders Report. We are at 532. 532. I know you guys are mad at my boss. I see the chat right now. I know I see it. But if you guys care about me, I want to be able to stay alive here. I just don't make the decisions. Yeah, I wish I could make the decisions. I know this is we gotta go ahead and do this. So rumble.com/Raiders Report, or else the stream is going to end here on YouTube, and then I'm going to go over and continue a show only on Rumble. while you guys are hopefully going ahead and getting those votes in, who do you guys think is going to win March Madness? No? It's all good. So let me know, guys, down in the comments section, who you think is going to win March Madness. Let me know down in the comments section. I bet on Duke, and I also bet on Gonzaga. I want Gonzaga to be able to come out on top and get a win. Personally, I voted on them last season. However, that one didn't ultimately happen from top to bottom. Also, we did just hit 1,000 likes, so cheers to everyone out there. Let me know, who do y'all think is going to win March Madness? Also coming up here on the show, which it looks like we're probably going to have to go ahead and do this on Rumble. I got 2 segments coming up. It's going to be a free agency tracker, and it's going to be, I'm going to give you guys my reasons of why I believe Yannick Ngakoue went ahead and we won the deal for Ngakoue. That's what's going to be coming up here on the Raiders Report. So I say we go to Raiders After Hour here. Guys, I see Ivan, I see Jacob, I see all y'all in the chat. I do. However, I want to be able to go ahead and continue the show here on YouTube. I just don't get the final say. I work for a company, I work for Chat Sports, and if that's what the boss says, then, hey, that's what I have to do. So, I think we're going to go all after hours at this point because the chat is a nightmare. So who's going to win March Madness? Let me know down in the comments. And if you guys haven't yet, it looks like we're going to have to go over to Rumble. So go ahead, give us a follow over there if you want me to. We're going to have to do both of the segments over there. I think that's the route we're going to go. If you guys want to continue to keep it here, yeah, it's bad. So that's what's going to happen. So we're going to go over to Rumble now, guys. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. Appreciate everyone who's watching. What's going to happen now is I am going to go live over on Rumble and Rumble only. I'm going to give you guys 2 segments over there. It's going to be, first one is going to be around a Yannick Ngakoue trade and the whole Rock Ya-Sin thing and why I believe the Raiders went ahead and won it. I'm also then going to go ahead and do a segment around the Raiders free agency tracker. That's all going to be coming up on Rumble, so if you want to see that, please go ahead. The link to the post is available right now. That's where you guys can go ahead and get it. It will be available there. And to make sure that we can always stay live and do cool content, that's what's going to be happening. So if you haven't already, let's get some votes in. Let's keep on throwing. We'll throw the Rumble link down there. That way you guys can go ahead and watch it. We are getting ready to get out of here, so hang on a second. I'm going to send out a tweet real quick because I have to do it. And what do we got? All right, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and tweet that as well. All right, y'all, I'm going to head on over to Rumble right now and give some shout-outs to some of the people over there. Like I see Tropical Remy, David Zahn. Cheers. There is also a live chat. It's literally very similar to what we're doing over here. What's up, David? What up, Oakland Raiders? What up, though, LJ Smith? I'm going to get off YouTube now. I'm going to head on over to Rumble. It's going to be Rumble After Hours. So if you guys want the extra content that we're going to be breaking down, it's going to be rumble.com/Raiders Report.